Day. I'm Deirdre Fitzpatrick.
And I'm Teo Torres. We know we couldn't ask for better weather this time of year.
No, this is like amazing.
Yeah, and it's going to continue to be very, very nice. Let's go to meteorologist Tamara Berg.
Yeah, outside you'll find here in Stockton, we are just a minute shy of sunrise, top of the 6 o'clock hour. And as these summer days go by, of course, sunrise getting a little later each day, and of course, sunset getting a little earlier each day. You can see a few passing clouds creating just a gorgeous look on the horizon as we look over the port city. Currently, it's comfortable in Stockton. You're out that door to 60 degrees on the nose. Good morning, Fairfield. You're also looking at a temperature of 60 degrees right now. 64 in Sacramento. Look at that. Yuba City diving down to 59 degrees. We're at 68 in Auburn and all the way up the hill. 30s this morning in Truckee and Tahoe. Quite a plunge down from just 24 hours ago. Here's the Delta breeze, but it is starting to go down. In fact, in the top of the 4 o'clock hour, just 2 hours ago, that breeze was up closer to 20 miles an hour. Now it's shuffling down closer to about 10. And you notice it's not getting really transported into areas like Yuba City and Sacramento. So while the morning is comfortable, you look at the Tower Bridge right now as the sun is coming up. And we are looking at temperatures that will run a little bit warmer as that breeze influence starts to go away later today. We're at 80 degrees around mid-morning, upper 80s by 1 o'clock. And in Sacramento, daytime highs will be in that range of about 96 to 99 degrees. Coming up in my full forecast, we do have some cooler changes down the road. I'll take you through it. 6:02 right now. Brian's taking you out to the highways and to see if there's any issues.
Yeah, I-5's looking pretty quiet this morning here. Camera froze on us, but you can see traffic still pretty light across the area. Not seeing any major delays along the I-5 corridor, and that includes coming up out of Elk Grove. That shot was at Richards Boulevard. 99 looking good. Picking up a little bit of slowing right at the Fix 50 project there on the WX freeway, but beyond that, no other issues. Highway 50 looking good all the way down into that area. And then Interstate 80 out of Roseville along the 80 corridor, Cap City Freeway and 80 across the top. No problems there along the Sacramento area. So everything pretty quiet around our area. Through Stockton, looking good along 5 and 99, Crosstown Freeway and westbound Highway 4. Not tracking any problems all the way out through Pittsburgh as we make our way a little bit further south towards the Tracy Triangle. Travel times there, again, a little slow, but not seeing any major delays along that stretch. 99 still only 13 minutes from Modesto to Manteca, but 205, slight build there. It's 31 minutes now on 205, and then westbound 580, 205 to 680 at 28 minutes over the Altamont Pass down into Dublin, as you can see here. And then in the Sacramento area, Highway 50, Rancho Cordova to 99, 10 minutes. Interstate 80, Roseville to the Split, 9 minutes, and I-5 and 99 both sitting at 11 minutes coming up out of Elk Grove. Back to you.
All right, thank you, Brian.
Happening today, opening statements set to begin in the competency trial of a man who was accused in a series of stabbings in Davis.
A jury must decide if Carlos Dominguez is mentally capable to stand trial. KCRA 3's Leticia Ordaz live in Woodland this morning where court proceedings will resume. So what happens next, Leticia?
Teo and Deirdre, good morning. It's going to be a busy day here at the Yolo County Courthouse. We are told as many as 20 people could be called to testify in this competency trial. The prosecution is arguing right now that Dominguez has already admitted to his guilt, but the defense says what his client said cannot be taken as a confession. After hours of questioning, a jury of 12 people and 4 alternates were selected yesterday. The former UC Davis student is charged with murder for the April stabbings of Davis resident David Breaux and UC Davis student Kareem Abu Najm, and the attempted murder of a woman who was stabbed through her tent. The defense plans to argue Dominguez suffers from schizophrenia. Prosecutors say Dominguez does have the mental capacity to have rational discussions with people when he wants to. Before a murder trial can even get underway, a jury will have to unanimously decide if Dominguez is competent.
We're going to ask the jury to decide, does the defendant have a mental condition? Does he understand the proceedings? Can he assist his attorney?
And initially, attorneys had said this trial could take 3 days. Now they're saying it could take more like 7 to 8 days, which would likely take us into mid-August. Reporting live in Woodland, Leticia Ordaz, KCRA 3 News.
Thank you, Leticia. Well, the defense also revealed in court that days before his competency trial, Dominguez was taken to the hospital on a 5150 hold, which is for people having a mental health crisis.
Now let's go to Vacaville and dramatic images from Livecopter 3 of a fire that destroyed a home and other property. You can see how those flames burned through the roof and the solar panels. Several cars on the property also burned. The Dixon Fire Department said it happened just after 6 o'clock last night. Crews got dispatched to that fire, which is along North Meridian Road. Started as a vehicle fire, but it spread then to the vegetation and to multiple structures, including the home. Everybody did get out safely. A woman who called 911 after seeing the flames and the smoke said she was afraid of what was about to happen next.
It's very close to home. I mean, just one little breeze can set a whole field up in flames. So I definitely, everything's a tinderbox right now, especially in July and August. So it's really scary when it's that close.
Ross is helping the family after losing that home. Evacuations now lifted for a fire that's burning in Shasta County. This one is out near I-5. Here's some time lapse from last night. Fire crews say they are just at 5% containment at this point, and the fire has burned about 80 acres. There's no threat to structures. CAL FIRE says it's burning in really steep terrain, and that's why it's been so tough to fight. So they brought in several agencies to continue hitting those flames to the ground and then also the air.
We're getting an inside look now at a multi-billion-dollar project designed to help prevent wildfires while also keeping the lights on for millions of people. This trenching is happening right now in the Green Valley community of Solano County. More than a mile of power lines will be buried. The main goal of the work is to reduce wildfires, starting by PG&E and its equipment. But another benefit for the people in the area, they will no longer have their power shut off during those windy conditions. By the end of this year, PG&E expects to have buried 350 miles of power lines, and overall, they're aiming for 10,000 miles, the biggest project of this kind in the country.
Our undergrounding program is the largest undergrounding program in the nation. We stepped out and said we can do it. We didn't know exactly how we would get there, but I'm so proud of the team. They're making progress every day, and every day we learn something new. Every mile we bury, we like to say, we learn new lessons, and so the next mile is safer, more affordable, and more resilient.
And faster.
Faster. We're making progress.
We will have more. You saw Edie Lambert there of her interview coming up tonight, including the reduction in fires caused by PG&E's equipment since this work began. And this work is expensive, $3 to $4 million a mile. We'll look at how they're paying for it, including a proposed rate increase that could be tacked on. That will air in our 6 o'clock newscast this evening here on KCRA 3. Happening today, PG&E will hold a hearing about potentially expanding the use of California's last nuclear power plant. Diablo Canyon in San Luis Obispo County was originally supposed to close by 2025 before a law passed last summer allowed it to stay open past that. That law does require new dates to be issued for when it closes. The public can give their input on when that should be at 2 virtual hearings today. Those get underway at 2 o'clock and 6 this evening.
Also going on today, picketing expected across dozens of Kaiser Permanente facilities. It's all part of a protest over unsafe staffing conditions. Thousands of union healthcare workers throughout California are expected to take part, and that includes at places in Northern California like Manteca, Sacramento, Stockton, and Vacaville. More pickets are planned at other Kaiser locations a little later this week. The coalition of Kaiser Permanente unions says problems with understaffed hospitals have created unsafe conditions for patients. Now, the union is currently negotiating with the healthcare provider ahead of a contract expiration in less than 3 months. Kaiser did release a statement saying, in part, given where we are in the bargaining process, it's clear the picketing by the coalition is not drawing attention to new issues, but rather an attempt to create bargaining leverage. Also worth noting is that Kaiser Permanente says it's not a strike and that their hospitals will be open and operating as usual.
Well, exactly 1 week from today, UPS workers may go on strike if there's no labor agreement between the company and its union. KCRA 3's Christopher Salas explains what kind of an impact that strike could have on the U.S. economy.
If a deal can't be reached, it could be one of the largest and most costly strikes in U.S. history. Experts say you would immediately see longer wait times and higher costs for your packages. Union workers authorized a strike earlier this month when negotiations broke down. Before then, the two sides agreed on several issues, including installing air conditioning and more trucks. The big sticking point at this point appears to be wages for part-time workers. The deadline to reach an agreement is July 31st, and here's what's at stake. UPS ships about 24 million packages a day. That's a quarter of all packages delivered across the country, and it accounts for about 6% of GDP.
As we learned during the pandemic, supply chains are this critical functional piece of the global economy. And any disruption threatens to create ripple effects.
UPS said earlier this month it will begin training non-union employees to step in should there be a strike. In Washington, I'm Christopher Salas, KCRA 3 News.
The government could intervene like we saw last year. President Biden stepped in to prevent a possible railroad strike, and those union workers accepted an agreement that wasn't broadly supported by its members. The UPS Teamsters Union has asked the White House not to intervene if they strike. Some Democrats in both the House and Senate have vowed not to.
Well, today is the day that Sacramento's mayor had said that he would move to give the city manager unilateral power to open homeless safe ground sites throughout the city. The question this morning is, will the mayor follow through on that stated deadline to act? KCRA3's Mike DeSalle live outside City Hall now to explain why there is uncertainty about how quickly the city could act to do something like that.
Yeah, and Deirdre, this all stems from a letter that the mayor sent to the city manager on the day before the July 4th holiday. In that letter, Mayor Darrell Steinberg said that on July 25th, today, he would ask the city council to authorize the city manager to use city resources to bring more unsheltered people to safe ground sites quickly. And that his recommendation to give the city manager, quote, unilateral authority to choose those safe ground sites that meet the need, quote. Those sites, according to the mayor, would also, quote, be dispersed geographically throughout the city. But here's the thing. The issue is not listed on the public agenda for today's city council meetings here inside Sacramento City Hall. So the question remains, what exactly will the mayor ask for at today's meetings, and could the city council actually give the city manager unilateral authority to start taking action to create safe ground sites throughout the city and pick those locations without any public input? Live outside Sacramento City Hall, Mike DeSalle, KCRA 3 News.
All right, Mike, thank you. So while that homeless issue does remain unresolved, the City Council will be voting on another homeless issue. The council is being asked to approve nearly $1 million for greater outreach to the homeless around Capitol Park.